What is going on? This is Tom from Two Guys Talking Toys, and I am talking about another toy. This is the Masters of the Universe Thundercats crossover Panthro, who is from the second wave of this amazing crossover. I am excited for this line. I'm excited for these characters, and I hope that we get, again, maybe like a couple of years out of this particular crossover. So, without wasting any time, let's take a look at the back, where we get a little bit of a preview of what I hope we might be getting in updated Triclops, who's got more of a triangular looking head. That's kind of neat. Your typical box art. Again, I've complained about this before. I guess not really complaint, but I kind of miss the Masters of the Universe versus whatever their crossover line is that we got for the Ninja Turtles, because that was a sticker that you could pull off and then put on other things. But let's not waste any more time and get him out of this box. And Thundercats are loose, and Panthro is out. So here we go. So it's an interesting look at how they would envision Eternian armor for Panthro. I know that that's the gimmick of the entire line. It's Thundercats on Eternia, or third Eternia, or however it was they were describing this in the comic. So we are covering up the idea that we just want to make a Thundercats line for He-Man, but we got to figure out how to get him some Eternian armor. So let's do that. With Panthro, I guess it makes the most sense for him to have kind of the Man-at-Arms looking faceplate. It's got that little extra guard that Man-at-Arms tends to have, which, yeah, if we're drawing equivalence between Thundercats and He-Man, Panthro is definitely the Man-at-Arms of the crew. The only thing that's missing is maybe a little stash to bring out his 80s manliness, but you don't get more manly than Grandpa Huxtable doing the voice for Panthro. So let's take a look at some of the other stuff he comes with. Panthro comes with, in addition to the Eternian armor that he's already packaged with. Oh, quick note, which I thought was interesting because it differs from the other Thundercats. Panthro actually comes readily packaged with his regular feet, but he has the Eternian fuzzy boots that actually I didn't realize this in the Tigra review. Tigra, Lion-O, and Panthro all seem to share these lower shin parts, which is kind of interesting. Reuse those parts if you got them. But Panthro seems to be the only one that comes packaged in his Thundercats boots, which in the long run means nothing. It's just interesting that they have him in the Eternian armor, but he's wearing the Thundercats boots. So you actually have to get the full Panthro Eternian armor look, you have to take him apart, pop these lower feet sections off, and put his fuzzy boots on. There we go. I mean, it's very possible that maybe he was just getting dressed in a hurry, forgot to put his fuzzy boots on. His shins will be a little cold outside in the Eternian tundra. But yeah, so there we go. Now we've got an full-on official Eternia styled, Eternia decoed Panthro. There we are. Alright, so he comes with the boot parts. He comes with his nunchucks, which is very cool. So he also comes with just a big old mace and an axe, which I thought was interesting because I didn't realize this at first. These come with two plugs, so my first thought was, wait, can you pop off his hand and plug the axe into those? That'd be kind of neat. But no, in fact, his left shoulder gauntlet, left forearm gauntlet there, that comes with a peg, so you can attach an axe or his mace as needed for whatever situation he may find himself in. So that's very cool. I kind of like that. I am a little surprised that these are silver and not gold to match with the rest of the armor, but it still looks pretty good. Well, it matches his spikes, so that's pretty good. Still, give me the old traditional nunchucks, because these are pretty great. I'm a little surprised that they molded the mace all in one piece instead of the nunchucks have the segmented chain. It's not full, each individual link. Yeah, each individual link has their own thing, so I'm a little bit surprised that they didn't do that with the mace, but probably a cost-saving feature. I won't begrudge them that. And I guess kind of the star and biggest mystery of Panthro's accessories is his Nito battle mask. So we'll toss that on there. And that's very strange looking. It's very weird for Panthro to have. Why? I don't understand why he has this. I mean, it's one of those things where why not? It doesn't hurt him. It doesn't take away from the design of the figure. It's just a little strange to have. I'm not quite sure why they, but you know, why did they make any of the decisions with the Eternian armor? Who's to say? Panthro always seemed more of a helmet kind of guy to me. So I think that's why the face mask looks a little bit weird. But let's see. So Panthro looks like he's on the one of the larger bucks because he kind of scales with Battle Cat Man. Yeah, these guys are two beefy dudes hanging out, stopping crime. He is of similar height. Looks like he's the full 6-inch, maybe a little taller because he's on that larger buck, which is pretty good, pretty great. So before I start going into the articulation, let's get him out of his cosplay Eternia stuff and get him just into his full Thundercats mode, which I think Panthro, you may have to do the least to get him into his full Thundercats gear. Not a whole lot. He's mostly just him shedding stuff. No pun intended. Let's get that spike off there, so you won't be needing that. And see, now you'll have to reverse the boots because it came packaged with his regular Thundercats boots. So he won't be needing these anymore. Get these back on there. I don't know if it's just for the. I'll have to double check my Super 7 Panthro. I don't remember him having tassels on his original design. I could be mistaken. Maybe that just slipped my mind. Because there's so many other entertaining things about Panthro. And pop you back together at the waist. And here we go. Old school Thundercats Panthro. Ah, that is super cool. Let's give him his nunchucks because he needs them. You know, this is a series that makes me wonder if, well, we probably won't, but it makes me wonder if perhaps we'll see some accessory packs, because the amount of armor and weapons that Panthro came with, it'd be kind of interesting. Like if he had maybe a couple of interchangeable, a few more different types of weapons to attach onto his gauntlet, because I do like the idea of this. I would even like to see maybe them double up on this gauntlet here, so maybe he could double fist some gauntlets and have different attachments for each one. You know, like a mace, we could do like a Roboto style laser gun or something like that. It would be a nice counter to Trapjaw, I think. That would be kind of cool. But back to Panthro, who is looking super cool in his traditional Thundercats setup. He's a big, beefy boy, as he should be, because he's always kind of the big guy in the series. So let's take a look at his articulation real quick. It's the standard that you would expect on the He-Man origin-style bodies. He's got the head movement, articulation at... Whoops. Hold on. Give me those nunchuck, Panthro. He's got articulation at the shoulder, at the bicep, also the wrist. There is a simple twist at the waist, movement at the thigh. a decent range, but again, it's kind of a stockier build, so you're not going to get full on range. And it's a little joint at the bend at the knee, twisting at the shin, so you can really show off those tassels, and articulation at the ankle. On my Panthro, ankle tilts are a little wobbly, and I don't know if that's from mold reuse. Sometimes there's some degradation, so you get a little bit of that, where standing might be a little bit of an issue because of the looseness and the tolerance. But he can stand pretty okay on his own. I'm a big fan of the paint job on Panthro. It's really good. It's a basic blue, but there's, you notice on the chest the gradient on the blue to light blue. It's really nice. Same thing for the detailing in the eyes. Did a really good job with that. A little bit on the chin. No flash on this. My Tigra had a little bit of additional flash and maybe not quite the cleanest markings on him. Not the best paint job on the belt. A little bit of sloppiness there, but and a little bit of a little squitch on the thigh. That's odd. My Tiger had that as well. I'm not quite sure what's going on with whoever it is that's in charge of the right thighs on here, but he still looks really good. He's still a big imposing figure. He still fits right in. He's a big dude, so you set him in next to Tigra, and he's pretty imposing. I like this a lot. I can't wait for more. They've done such a good job with this line, and the figure himself, the detailing on it is really good. The attention to all the little bits and bobs that make Panthro. Let's compare him to his Super 7 counterpart. So this is interesting because I hadn't really noticed this. The Super 7 one is a little bit more gray, which I guess is technically maybe a little more tune accurate. I remember Panthro was a little bit, he wasn't full on blue. He had that tone to him, but Super 7's also a little bit more angry, which was another thing that I was a little bit surprised that we didn't get in these crossover figures. Would be maybe some swappable heads. I know that Lion-O and Chitara, you can swap the hair, so that's kind of cool to change that up. But maybe like a head or two. I'd sacrifice this mace for a super angry Panthro head. I think that would be the better way to go. So they were not mistaken on those tassels. Panthro does in fact have tassels on it. I completely forgot about that. Good job. Oh, he's also got a wrist gauntlet, which I guess technically this would be the spiky equivalent. So if you leave this on your Panthro, you wouldn't be mistaken. You wouldn't be wrong. It would technically be correct to have that as your classic Panthro. So that is looking pretty good. So just real quick, there's not too much else left to say about this Panthro aside from he's pretty well done. He looks pretty good. He fits. It's a nice comparison between him and his Super 7 counterpart, even in height, because they used a larger buck on Panthro. So I don't know if that means that the Super 7 version is just a smaller dude compared to the other ones. I don't know. I just thought those were much larger than. Oh, that's interesting. But let's bring out Panthro's buddies so he can hang out with the crew. Here he is next to Tigra and Chitara. And let's bring out Lion-O as well. And these guys are, man, do they look good together. I am on board for this series. They've done such a good job with this. And if you wanted your classic Thundercats, here they are. It doesn't get much better than this. So we've got the core grown-ups in the group right now, which means that we're just missing Wily Kit, Wily Cat, and Snarf. And then we can start expanding out and getting the rest of those. That we can get the Lynxo and Pumaira and Bengali and all that fun stuff. I am looking forward to that. So, in case it wasn't super plain and super obvious, I am loving this Thundercats He-Man crossover series so far. If you're a big fan of made-up Eternian armor, you can get some of that to swap in and out on these figures. Panthro's Eternian armor actually does look pretty cool. I like the arm gauntlet and the attachment to add some extra weapons onto him. But the classic mode, I think, is what really shines on this. They got all the detailing really, really well done. The paintwork is really nice. Again, the sculpting is great, especially on the face, and they really just nailed it. I'm looking forward to seeing what else they produce, and I can't wait to see how long this plan's on going, because we've got, this is the second wave right now, so I guess we've got maybe 2, possibly 3 more waves to go, one of which I know includes Panthro, and we've already gotten the teaser for Triclops, I believe Trapjaw on the back of some of the cards, so we'll see what pops up in the later waves, and I hope they dig deep into the lore for this one. So, until next time, hope you enjoyed. If you would like this review, please hit the like and subscribe button. That'll give you and hit the notification bell. That'll let you know when there are more toy reviews on the way. So until next time, take care, everybody.